Well, of course, water supply has been restored for most parts of Tsakane in Ekurhuleni, and it comes after a 2-month struggle that saw frustrated locals take to the streets to protest the prolonged interruption. Now, the Mapleton and Mapleton system has now been restored, which then includes the Pulusong Hospital. But high-lying areas are still not receiving any water, and the city says this is due to protesters blocking technicians from switching on pumps at the Khosa Reservoir. eNCA senior reporter Aviwe Mtila joins us live now with the very latest. Aviwe, a very warm good morning to you, colleague. Take us through some of the challenges here that have been faced by water technicians, but also what informs the reason why there's still no water in some areas.
Good morning, Tumelo. I'm in one of those areas in Tsakane, part of Brakpan, that doesn't have water. I hear from the councillor here that it's been at least some 6 weeks straight that they haven't water. Part of the 33,000 residents here, almost which half of them don't have water. For the last 2 days, from Monday, we do understand there's been heavy protest action. It's a bit calm now, not sure what's going to happen, but you can see the aftermath on the streets here as the cars are actually trying to snake through and make their way past the heavy rocks and even some of the infrastructure pipes that have been laid on the ground here. We hear last night it was very tense, a standoff between the police and the community members. We do understand rubber bullets were fired here. We're not sure then what the way forward is going to be, but let's find out from the ward councillor here, local councillor Slino Kuhle Pike, maybe just to get more clarity on what's been happening. Siswam, thank you for joining us at eNCA. But tell us, this water situation here, how long has it been and what are the exact causes of not having water?
In Ward 83 Ekurhuleni amanzi since from it's been 6 weeks already abantu bangana amanzi. So the problem started, I think it was at the end of the month August. So I've reported the matter to the department in various platforms. I've written to the HOD of e-water and sanitation. I've written to the DH of e-water and sanitation, and they are aware of this water cuts that people have been suffering from.
What are they saying is the cause that has led to no water for the last 6 weeks here?
The Department of Water and Sanitation told us that rainwater doesn't have sufficient water to pump to them. So that is why it's a month. Yes.
Way forward, because for the last 2 days there's been protest action. We can see the results on the ground. Have you got clarity on a way forward? When will water be restored for the at least 33,000 residents here?
Unfortunately, they didn't tell us restoration is over, but technicians were here yesterday. Unfortunately, AMA protesters throw AMA stones to them. They couldn't work, but some areas do have water now.
Okay, so is the issue then, if I understand it correctly, the residents themselves stopping the technicians from restoring the water?
Not really. Residents were not aware what was happening here. Because of the frustrations that they had, they didn't want to hear anything. They didn't want anyone near the tank. That is why they keep on throwing stones to the technicians. They didn't even know that those were the technicians who were working there.
Okay, and we hear, of course, there was that standoff between the community and the residents. Has anyone injured? And EMPD?
Yes. Yeah, I've got a call from one of the residents. She said she's currently at the hospital. She was brutally injured when the EMPD was shooting them with rubber bullets.
Okay, and the way forward, councillor, what's going to happen today? Do we know when the water is going to be restored? And what are you hearing from the community?
The community said they are going to stop protesting as soon as water comes in their taps. So we do not know we do not know if the water will be restored today or not. Yes. So we're waiting for the Water and Sanitation Department to give me a report, but because as a councillor, my work is to liaise between the departments and the residents. As soon as I get the responses from the department, I can only be able to tell my resident this is the way forward, or this is what is happening.
Okay, let me speak to Put Isaac as well, one of the community members here, while my colleague Joe Komane shows you the water tanks and the reservoirs, in fact, that just right across from where we are. How has the community been surviving for the last 6 or so weeks without a drop of water?
It's been very difficult because there's been water tankers going around our community, and that is the actual problem that our community has with regards to whoever got the tender to come and supply water in our community, because there's an element here that the water is being closed deliberately so that people can enjoy tenders and supply water through these water tankers. We've written a memorandum. We've even written our demands to say we want to know that what are they testing this water that our people are subjected to, and what measures do they use to test the water, and no one has even came back to us.
And a way forward then from the community. It's been protests for the last 2 days because you haven't had a single drop for the last 6 weeks. What's going to happen going forward? Do you know when the water will be restored?
Look, we don't know, because yesterday when the MMCs intervened, because of the executive was there, because on I think it was Friday, we on EKFM live, and then we pleaded with the executive. Actually, we wanted the mayor of Ekurhuleni, because we don't know the mayor. The mayor is just quiet somewhere, we don't know where. We wanted the mayor to say, Mayor, come and address our people, come and address this water crisis. But the mayor never showed up. But the executive showed up without the MMC in charge of water, sanitation and energy. So these people, when they came here, the engineers also were on site, and then they checked and they gave us facts to say the water is currently on 30%. And the city of Ekurhuleni released a statement yesterday to say the water is currently on 30% yesterday, and they need 50% for them in order for them to release the water. So this morning we were told that this morning it will be on 50%. So yeah, like we don't know what is happening. Some areas they are saying water is coming out, but it is not the entire Tsakane. We want the entire Tsakane to have that basic need. We want the entire Tsakane to have running water. It's our right. It's in the chapter 2 of the Constitution of South Africa that everyone has the right to running water.
And is this the last of the protest action that we've seen over the last 2 days, or do we have some sort of direction from the community and what you're hearing on the ground?
Look, the community is furious, and currently we got some report that the community, there's some people that will come and instigate. There's some people that will come and push anarchy. And we've made it clear when we started this march on Friday that we're not here on political heads, EFF, ANC, whatsoever. We are here on behalf of the community. We want water. And there's people that are saying we must go and burn this house, we must go and destroy that facility. Those people are just pushing anarchy. So we don't know what's going to happen, but the people have spoken. The people said the march will never restore up until there is water running in Tsakane.
Okay, so possible protest action if water is not entirely restored in Tsakane. This whole street, Tumelo, even driving to Tsakane, you'd see just how it's littered with these big rocks right across. I understand it's Kosa Street here in Tsakane, Brakpan. And all of it is literally littered with these big rocks. Cars have to snake past them as they make their way. It will give you the gravitas of exactly maybe what was happening last night. The promise is that these protests could continue if the water is not entirely restored in Tsakane. You heard earlier from the ward councillor suggesting that the issue, what they're hearing from the Department of Water and Sanitation, is that Rand Water doesn't have sufficient water to supply the tankers here, essentially the water reservoirs. So it's going to be seen what's going to happen today. But of course, the majority of the communities here are still in desperate need of water that they haven't had for the last 6 weeks.
And you can imagine water being a basic need, a basic human right, when the alleged, promise that protests will go on if water is not received. You can imagine the severity and the seriousness from the protesters themselves, as well as some community members saying that they will continue to protest if they do not receive water. In the entire community of Tsakane, they said they have a right to dignity, a right to running water. Aviwe Mtila, let me leave it there for now with you, colleague.